Hello，大家好，
大家好，慢慢
新年好，欢迎老朋友回来，回到我们的午间中文，也欢迎新朋友。
对，都是
你们好，
你好，你好，新年过得好吗？
做得好，谢谢。
嗯，Welcome everyone. It's been a while. 大家好，
好久不见。
新年快乐。
嗯，
Sorry, Samantha, you're saying something?
好久不见。
Yeah. Samantha, 你在哪儿？
哦，我在佛罗里达州。
啊，佛罗里达天气怎么样？今天
今天有点冷。
有点儿冷哈。哎呦，
嗯，
今天纽约很冷，非常冷。So,
哦，
again, I'm 伸展，我是伸展. I'm directing education programs at China Institute. We are here in New York, freezing today. 非常冷. Yeah. And welcome to Lunch and Learn 午间中文. I saw many old faces, old friends. Yeah, hi Eric. Uh, And many of you have been following Lunch and Learn since 2020. It's been a while, and thank you. 谢谢，非常感谢. We took a pause last fall. It's been a lot of changes. The most exciting is what we are I wouldn't say revamping, but we're really trying to see how to keep refreshing our Lunch and Learn. And we're excited for this season. We have Su 老师, Su 老师, can you wave? Yeah, we have Su 老师 this season from January to May, focusing on calligraphy. Before I introduce Su 老师, I also want to introduce our team for this season. And you perhaps will have been familiar with 林老师, 林永强, 林老师. 林老师在哪里？
我在这里，大家好，非常高兴又在 Lunch and Learn 与大家见面。然后我看到很多老朋友，还有新朋友，so welcome back and let's continue do it.
Yeah, if you're new to Lunch and Learn, would you mind? Well, you can raise your hand. Hello, Eva and Guy. Guy. Did I say it correctly? Yeah, sorry. Oh, Joyce. And or you can type your place while in the chat box. The chat box is open throughout the session. If you have any questions or comments, you are free to type it in, but please keep the comments and questions to the content relate to the session. Hi, 小安，很高兴，欢迎回来。
Hi.
And also, we are excited. We have two new master degree students from ECNU, East China Normal University, our partner in Shanghai. And Chunxuan, where is Chunxuan? Yeah, Chunxuan. Well, her name has spring in it. Chunxuan, Chun, and another one, Xiating. Where's Xiating? Xiating. Yeah, Xiating has.
嗨，大家好。
Yeah, Xiating
我
has
是夏婷，
summer.
对。
Yeah, exactly. So Chunxuan and Xiating this season, they will be facilitating the lunch and learn session as well. Hello, Nancy. Good to see
Hi,
you.
how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
新
New
年
Year,
好.
Nancy.
Yeah. Well, feel free to open your video camera as well as when we're saying hi to each other. Sorry if I cannot say all of your name because I have multiple pages on my screen. But it's really great to see everyone. So now I want to introduce our instructor for the 5 sessions focusing on calligraphy this season, Eva Su 老师. Some of you may be familiar with Su Laoshi if you've been to our meetup for calligraphy for the past more than a year. Su Laoshi has been a member of the Calligraphy Association of China and has been practicing and teaching calligraphy for many years. We were just chatting, and she's a descendant from the great poet Su Shi. That's been recorded in her family's the record of genealogy. So it's really impressive, and we have, in fact, through our Lunch and Learn, learning Su Shi's 词, the 词 poems. So it's great to have Su Laoshi now leading our online sessions for this season. We are doing this because while focusing on calligraphy, 书法, it's also because when we were reading the poems and learning the calligraphy, writing the characters, some of you have expressed the interest in a little bit more in depth into calligraphy. I am not a professional calligrapher, so I'm very happy to have Su Laoshi joining us and turning it to Su Laoshi. Su Laoshi, it's all yours.
Thank you, Liu 老师. And hello everyone. You can call me Eva. 我是苏毅. 我像 like 廖老师 introduced, I've been learning and practicing Chinese calligraphy for over 20 years, and now I'm based in New York as a calligrapher. So today I will walking you through a few basics, and later on we will move on to a practice session for a single Chinese character. So let's begin. I'll share my screen now. A second. So can you see my slides? Yeah,
可以。
可以。
Okay, so today we will having the first part of the 5 Launch and Learn session. Today we will focus more on the basics and how to get ready before you practice the Chinese calligraphy. First of all, I want to elaborate something about the Chinese calligraphy itself, because you know, it has like a 3,000 years old history, and now people not very often use calligraphy as a daily use, because you know, like 100 years ago, people still using calligraphy, writing letters, taking notes, and as a daily use every day. But now people change the ways of communication to like the electronic devices. So Chinese calligraphy become like a pure art form instead of daily practical use. But it also has personal benefits if you start learning and practicing Chinese calligraphy, because it's related to meditation, and it can calm you down during the process, not even learning about an art form. That's what I want to mention. Also, you can explore more cultural knowledge during the learning. And it uses specialized tools, which I will dig more during today's speech, and follow certain rules and principles, because there are like 5 main categories of different scripts among like inside of Chinese calligraphy. So each style or each script, they have different rules and principles we need to follow, instead of like randomly writing. That does not mean calligraphy itself. And calligraphy also about writing characters correctly and beautifully, which is like apparently it's an art form, so you should practice to make it perfect and write the characters beautifully. And in ancient China, Chinese people believe that one's handwriting reveals one's personality. So people want to write beautifully to show their integrity or personalities to other people. And there's fun fact that in ancient China, if people taking court exams to become an official, you have to write a beautiful calligraphy. Otherwise, the officer, when they review your paper, your handwriting will influence mainly to the judgment of the final score. So people like when they are very young as a child, they will be educated to write beautiful calligraphy. Okay, so let's start by the writing tools, which we say 文房四宝 in Chinese, four treasures in study. So that's very fundamental tools people will use when studying or practicing Chinese calligraphy. The most traditional set is 笔墨纸砚, four treasures listed as brush pen, ink, shrimp paper, and inkstone. And we will work through them one by one. The first would be the 笔. And you can repeat after me about this character. Can you see my mouse? Can you see the arrow here? So you can repeat after me. It's called 笔 in Chinese. 笔.
笔
笔
Very nice. 笔
笔
has like the tone change like downward and then upward. Okay, so this is 笔 as the first fundamental tool in Chinese calligraphy. And the brush, it literally means pen, 笔, but if you say 毛笔, it becomes brush pen. Yeah. Okay, so when you search Chinese calligraphy brush pen, you will see many different kinds of the brush pen in the market, as I put some examples here. And they have different color, they have different length. And how can you choose them? Because the brush pen is very sophisticated instrument. It has different hair. The body is usually made by wood or bamboo, so it's easy to find out. Nothing special, but the hair is very important to choose from, because it's mentioned it related to the quality of the brush pen itself. Usually the hair is made by animals' hair. The most commonly used material is the goat hair, goat or sheep. I remember it's goat maybe, yeah, goat hair. And also the weasel hair is mostly commonly used. And otherwise, we also have horse tail and something like mouse whiskers. Hard to imagine, right? Just like the oil painting brushes, we also have the bristle and even like a sable or something. That's very rare to use because each of the material, the hair itself has different function and feature. For example, the goat hair, it absorbs more liquid when you do the writing, and the weasel's hair is more elastic and it perfectly bouncing back when you do press it down. So it has different characteristics to match what you're gonna write, and you can play with it. So as for beginners, I would suggest to choose the mixed hair, which in Chinese is called 煎好. 煎 means mix. So it has both the goat hair and also the weasel hair. It creates like more not too elastic or too soft. It's just in the middle, so it's better for beginners to try out. And also, I want to mention that nowadays, the people will change the material into like fiber, artificial fiber to lower the cost. So what's in the market now is not all animal hair as pure as it can be. So if it's very cheap, it mostly not likely to have the artificial fiber in it to take replacement for the high quality animals hair. So, okay, so next, oh, this is a very like interesting mistake I find when I search brush pen in Amazon. This is from Amazon link. And this, you can see this is a set of traditional calligraphy brush pen, and it says wolf hair here. And I want to remind you that 狼毫 in Chinese, 狼 means it itself calls wolf. So you can see weasel in Chinese is 黄鼠狼, and wolf is 狼. So that's the reason why people mixed with wolf instead of a weasel. So you see a wolf here, it can be. We don't use wolf here. So if you see a wolf here, it most likely is a weasel here instead of wolf. Okay, so next. Let's see the second very important tool is the more. You can repeat after me, more.
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 More, very nice. So in Chinese, more itself is ink. But in calligraphy, there are two different kinds of forms that you can use. One is liquid ink, one is ink stick, which I will demonstrate later to you how to use them separately. And for the ink stick, as you can see from the picture, there are like cakes or sticks. They usually made with burning ash. And people use glue to form the shape and make it dry to store it for years. And people also decorate on it, sometimes carve, sometimes you inscribe on it. So it can be art form as itself. Not until late 19th century, the first liquid ink came up. So liquid ink is a substitute for the ink stick, and it's more convenient for people to use. You don't need to grind the ink stick on the install. It's two different options. So the ink stick paired with install, which I will demonstrate later, and liquid ink is just liquid ink. It's two different sets. Here are some examples, and the first picture on the left corner is the people is how they making the cake or the stick, the create process. So people use hand to rub the ash with the glue itself to mix them together perfectly, and then put into a mold to let it dry. After dry out, it will like steady as the shape itself, like second picture, and people then decorate and paint or write something on it to write their brand or auspicious words, something like that to decorate it. Then it came out as different shapes and different decorations on it. There are some specially made ink stick, like you can see that colored ink here, very beautiful and colorful, and not very commonly used, except for the white one and the red one. They mostly used often than other colored ink stick. I just want to show you that ink stick is not only as the black one, they have different colors. And this is the liquid ink like that placed in a bottle, which is more commonly used nowadays. And when you use the ink stick, you will need ink stone to grind it up. This is one of my artworks. I write it in small regular script, which is like 1 to 1.5 centimeter. And I used the liquid white ink to create the effect of steel rubbing. So it looks more aged and rough and classical as the artwork shows. Okay, the third tool is the 纸, and you can still repeat after me. 纸 still has the tone just like the, so it's 纸. Very nice. Okay, so for this part, I will say 宣纸 as the whole complete phrase as 宣 paper. So it has long history as well and made from tree bark and dry straws. So it has fiber. You can see from the picture here. It has very special texture compared with the printing paper. So it's like a special kind of paper. Not every paper can call 宣纸. So for practicer, there's also a kind of a version of practice paper, which is less expensive as 宣 paper, like this, the left, this left picture here. You can see it's a light yellow color, which is not bleached as the white one. So it's cheaper and it's commonly used for practice because we will use a lot during the practice. And usually 宣 paper is used for creating artwork, or you can practice it on 宣 paper as well. So it's depending on what you would like to choose. And we also have the frames on it, so you can have better idea of how to place the structure of the whole character on the paper. We also have like special colored and golden sparkle on it, so that's beautifully for artwork creation. And also the red paper, you should maybe very familiar with that for Chinese New Year. We have that for these kind of special occasions, different kind of paper for Chinese calligraphy. Okay, so next, the last tool I would like to mention is the 砚台. 砚台 is inkstone. You can look at me, it's the 砚. 砚.
Yeah.
Okay, so 砚itself, you can see the picture here that it has different form or the shape. It can be very simple or extremely elaborate because people also can do carving art on it. The surface of the inkstone is very different from other stones. It's fine grained, but yet very slightly abrasive. So if you use like a quartz stone, it will absorb liquid easily, and it will be too rough on the surface or for the grinding. And if it's a too smooth stone like pebble, it won't grinding anything out. So this kind of stone is perfectly for ink grinding, and this needs special area in China that has such mining area for stones to unearth, such as Anhui, Guangzhou, Guangdong, and Gansu provinces like that. They have special mining areas for such stone. And they can be art formats themselves because it means they have aesthetic value and people can collect this kind of stuff for collection. And you can see from the options, they have ancient objects like inkstone. And also I mentioned before is the 墨条, the ink stick also as an art form itself. You can collect them as a collector. That's another value of it. Other than for treasures, we have other tools that's very important, or you can choose not to have. First is felt. Felt is very, I think is as important as the previous one because it can protect your table. If you do not have a felt, you can use cloth or papers underneath it. It's nothing big deal, but if you write large characters, you will need felt to avoid the ink soak through on the table, so it will be messy if you don't have a felt. And second picture here is a kind of pen holder. You put pens in it. The picture here shows a water dropper because during the writing we need to add some water. This is a tool to add water into the liquid ink. And before the grinding ink, you still need to add water. The picture here is a hanger for brush pens to hand it on and can let it dry as a shape itself. A very useful tool. And the paperweight here is to keep the paper steady when we do the writing. And this is a pen holder, another pen holder, but it's used for when you're doing the writing, you can rest the pen on it, so you won't mess with the table. So a lot of tools, right? I mentioned so many. What happened? Oh, so many tools I've mentioned here. So for beginners, I would suggest the 4 main tools to you: the brush pen, the liquid ink, the practice paper, and ink dish. So as the picture shows here, I do not suggest you to invest high quality tools as a beginner because first off, it's very expensive. Second, you may not find out the difference or find out the excellence of the tool itself, because it's very the difference is very subjective and comparatively good. So what I suggest here is to find mixed hair brush pen and liquid ink in a bottle, and practice paper in white or beige color goes fine, and ink dish. And you can also find substitutes in tableware, like the small dish in porcelain will be good. And if you like, you can also have some nice objects like I showed you before to help you create a very pleasant writing experience. They are like study companion to you. Of course, not a burden or trouble obstacles. For myself, I like to collect these kind of treasures in my study. So it's very pleasant experience having them. Okay, so after tools, I would like to introduce the very important part here is the brush holding and body posture. For brush holding, just the pictures shows here, which I will demonstrate later about it more. As you can see, you have an empty palm, and you should put your wrist on. And as you can see from the picture, the index finger, you don't need to put the pen like in the tip, very close to the tip. You can move it freely, but with the empty palm facing to the writing surface. Just have one glance of this kind of fingers position, which I will show it to you myself. And the sitting position, you need to put 2 arms on the table with your torso straight and right in front of you. And you will be easily to move your wrist. And you will use that often and mainly. The standing position is especially for large characters, large size. So usually if it's larger than your palm, the size of the character, if it's larger than your palm, you will be standing up to move your whole arm, as the brush pen will like the extension of your body to create the character on the paper. Okay, so this is the character we're gonna write today. It's called 雪. It's translated as snow. I believe that in previous Laochang session, Liao Laoshi already introduced a lot about the origin of this character, and because it's winter now, and I don't know, are you expecting a big snow? Definitely not a storm, right? So this winter, New York has no snow yet, but I believe this Sunday, the forecast said there will be snow. So today we will all have this character writing. I will show you how to write it. The snow. You can repeat after me about the Chinese character. It's called the 雪.
雪
雪.
雪
Very nice. So today we have 3 words that has the same tone, right? 雨, 纸, 雪. They all share the same tone trends in all these 3 characters. Okay, so I will if you have any tools on hand, you can get ready with me, and if not, you can just see how I show you to do the calligraphy. Let me stop sharing the slides and change my camera. Okay, so okay, so this is my table and this is my felt. I choose a dark felt here, and it changed sometimes to white. And today I prepared 2 sets. I will show you how to use both ink stick and liquid ink. I need to white here. So this is the example. I'll change the color. Nice. Okay. So usually with the ink stick, we will need a water to add a little water on the flat surface of the ink stone, like this, a drop is fine. And we grind it on. Usually the ink stick can provide different shades of black color. So when usually I do professional artwork, I go with the ink stick. If for practice, I need to save time, or usually grinding takes time, usually 15 or 20 minutes for grinding. And after I grind down, I can collect the ink into this area. This is for collecting. Okay, so that's, I will show you briefly about how to grind and use ink stick. And today I will use the liquid ink, like ink dish as I mentioned. It's very simple, like you can find it in any tableware. It's very commonly find in your daily life. So the liquid ink I use a very large bottle because I use a lot. I'll just add liquid here. As you can see, it's very intense and dry or very thick if it's a good ink. I will show you how to use water and during the writing. Before we write, we will start by using a brush pen. If you have a new pen, that's when I do the teaching, a lot of people ask how to like initialize a new pen because it's looks different because the used pen I show here is dry out and not as a shape. It's very hard and stiff. This is softer, so they are different form or shape. If you have a new pen, I'll show you here how to initialize it. So usually it has a glue to stick all the hair together, but it can be washed off easily and it's only one time use the glue. So what you can do here, you have a bowl of water and you pressing down gently to make the hair spread out. And as you can see, it has different color, right? The white one is usually the gold hair to absorb more liquid as a purpose. And the inside color is the weasel hair, most for the elastic purpose. Okay, so after pressing down gently a few times, the glue will spread out into the water. Like you can do it like this. Also use fingers to squeeze it. This is only happens when you use the pen as first use. So if it's a second use or third use, you don't need to do it again. This is a new pen, so usually people will get a little confused or it's not soft enough to write. Okay, so it's done. Now you can write it because it's soft so very much and no glues on it. You can use it here. Okay, so I will use second use pen to show you how to use it. If it's a second use and it's a spread out shape, you will still need to press in the water to wet it and remove that excessive water. Then you soak all the brush hair into the ink like this to let it absorb as much as possible. Then you use the edge of the dish to remove excessive and to create the shape as the original. I say original shape is the when you remember before I do the initialization, the brush pen is like a triangle or a cone shape like it shows. So when we do during the writing, we still need to let it still be the original shape that will help with the writing. And do not press more to change the tip. You see the tip is different here. So keep the tip fine and sharp is the key here. Okay, so ready to go when it looks like this and no drop ink. Or if it drops down, it will be too much ink on the brush. Okay, so ready for the water and ready for the start by writing this 雪 snow. This is my paperweight. I will do it continuously After the whole character is finished, I will explain to you how to write it out. Okay, so this is 雪. As you can see, the whole character has two parts mainly, and the first one is what's up here and down here. The upper part takes more portion than the second one. That's first about the structure. And for the stroke, you will need to follow the order, just like what I write just now. So I do it again here. You can use your finger or your brush pen with me. One, here. Second, third, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 11 strokes here. All right, here. So this usually there are a lot of different characters. They have different stroke orders, but the basic principle of the stroke order is from top to bottom and from left to right. That's the basic rules. Okay, so let's dig more into the strokes. First stroke is the 横 here. Let's start by 横. Pressing down and move to the right and do an ending. Press and go back a little bit. This is a 横. It's called a horizontal line. The second is the vertical, short version of a vertical line. Let's do it here. Start, move downward, and end. Third stroke here is a longer horizontal line to move to the right and press down harder to make a kink here. Lift up gradually. Next one is the standard vertical line. So press down here, move downward, make an ending. Create a shape. Next, we have 4 dots. So I'll just do 1 dot. Press it down harder, make a round turn to create a shape. Sometimes we make it connect to the next one. So you may lift up to show the connection here. That's because there's something for next stroke it wants to connect with. That's why we have something here. It looks differently from second. Okay. It's like a variation of standard dot. Next one is the 横折. It's like the variation of this stroke. I will do here. Do a 横 first. Then press down harder. Go thicker. And move downward. And stop right here. The last 2 strokes are standard horizontal line. Yeah. So this is like 3 times. This is cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this whole character, there are 6 kinds of strokes to form the whole character of 雪. After you practice single strokes like this, you can repeat it for each strokes practicing. Then you can form the shape to create the whole character. That's a common way of practicing a whole character. And as for the whole, I will say the structure, you can find the center line here. It's somewhat asymmetric, not exactly, because it has leaned upward here as in regular script, somewhat of an asymmetric in the whole character you will need to pay attention to. The space from left side to right side is almost the same. And what's also same here is 1, 2, 3 space and this space with the same. And think these two dots as a vertical line here. You can see it's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And it's almost the same. That's the structure part to make it look balanced. That's why it looks balanced. So I will do it again as a whole. Hey, so when you do the writing for the first time or second time, you will find your hand shaking during the writing. It's completely normal. So you will only need to it take time to keep steady as you control the brush pen. And when you do the first character, you will find flaws or mistakes you made. And it's also completely fine if you have any mistakes. You just correct them during the practice. That's why we need practice. So practice makes perfect. That's very true in Chinese calligraphy. You will need to repeat it a lot of times to make it perfect. And also, I will suggest you observe very closely after you do one writing, which will help you to find out the mistakes and correct them. Yeah, and you can have a try if you have the tools on hand. And remember to slow down and be patient. Okay, so writing is not like some randomly swiping the brush pen, as I will show you here. So when you do the writing, do not swipe like this. It follows the shape. You will need to create shape by manipulating your brush pen to create exactly the same shape as it shows. Pay attention to the details. The details matters a lot. On the shape, on the grading, the angle or the thickness. It's all about the details if you want to form the whole character shape. I see a question here. I will during this moment you can enjoy writing, and if you have any questions, you can just let me know. I see the question in the chat box. Is your right hand resting on the paper as you write? Okay, so when I do the writing, the elbow is definitely on the table, but the wrist is like not touched on the table. There's some space here. So when I do, because I need to move the wrist, so not the whole hand is resting on the paper, just the elbow. So there is space between my wrist and the table, if that helps.
Oh, Su 老师, there's another question earlier. Can you suggest a mixed hair beginner brush and the practice paper?
I can find some link that you can try to see if they can be used as a beginner. Is that okay? Is there a specific way to wash and oh, that's a very good question. That's very important because a lot of people like usually a brush pen can be used for half a year, maybe 3 months, it depending on how frequently you use it. But to wash and store, let me change my camera. Okay. So to wash, there are a few tips that can help you to have a longer use for the brush pen. When you do the washing, you can the tip is follow the water flow. If you go into the sink to wash it, this is the water, right? And you just use the same direction to wash it. Do not go opposite way, so it will damage the brush pen itself. You can rinse it in the bowl like I used here earlier. You can rinse it in the bowl, and or if you wash it in the sink, you must follow the water flow. That's the tip. And if you want to dry it, you can simply put it on the table. That's very common. And second, you can use a pen holder like I showed in the slides earlier. I have a pen holder, so I will hang it here to let it dry out. Then it also has the shape as very perfect as I want. So do not like put it opposite way, because the water will flow down to the body, because the weather here is sometimes very dry out. It will there will be cracks in the body as the bamboo material. So I would suggest these 2 ways. Okay, so next, what is 长风? Okay, very professional question here. 长风, I will switch camera. Okay, 长风 literally means hidden the tape, hide the tip. So what I do here is show you the tape. That's the opposite of 长风. That will help with you understanding the 长风. This is show you the tape. You see the tip here? It's very sharp, right? And pointy. That's 陆风. We say 陆风. That's the opposite way of 长风. 长风 is hide the tip. You just make a simply turn back, reverse turn, like a reverse turn. You will hide it, the tip. So it's a 长风. That's it. So 长风 also very commonly used in the seal script. You see here, or clerical script. It requires a 长风, but in regular, it's not every time use 长风. I hope that can help you understand it. Can one angle the paper for right-handed or left-handed, or just preference? I think you can use it left-handed. It doesn't matter if you go with left-handed, it's totally fine. I see classmates or students, they do it with left hand. Do you have a favorite calligrapher to model after master once as a beginner? As a favorite calligrapher, for myself, I like Mi Fu and Wang Duo. Mi Fu is in Song Dynasty and Wang Duo is in late Ming Dynasty. But for beginner, they are very experienced calligrapher for running script and cursive script. But for beginner, I would suggest in Tang Dynasty, there are a lot of famous calligrapher like Yan Zhenqing, Liu Gongquan, Ouyang Xun. They are very good at regular script. They're good for beginners. So my favorite is very famous for their cursive writing, but for beginners, I would suggest the good models in Tang Dynasty as the regular script classicals. When the brush hair not staying as one, but a hair here or there, is it time to, yes, it's definitely time to change. But if you use, after you wash it correctly and use your hand to shape it, still hair goes here and there. It definitely, you want to change it. Please write name down. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think Liao Laoshi is writing it for me. Thank you. Yeah, Yan Zhenqing, Liu Gongquan, the Ouyang Xun, they're perfect for beginner to learn from. They have very famous classical pieces, masterpieces for as regular scripts for beginner to learn. Yeah. Let me know if you have more questions. What's the regular range of price I consider basic? Okay, so regular, a basic set of tools, you can find it no more than $50. I said, I think, yeah, no more than 50. If you use substitutes like this, you will just $1 or $2, very cheap substitutes here. And you want something collectible, like I like beautiful objects on the table, like this paperweight. I love it. It takes more. It takes hundreds or something. It could be no maximum, but minimally you can just like, take 20, 30, 50 to start. Can you recommend a place to purchase supplies? I think I will suggest some links in Amazon and some shops that I can later on the video will be put on YouTube, which I can provide some links on the YouTube video below the instruction section, so you can find it there. And I think that's pretty much for today. And if you have any questions? Do the ink fade over time? If it's a good quality ink, it never fades. You see when you go to the Metropolitan or any museum that has long history, Asian objects, the calligraphy artwork, they still shows very contrastable the writing, so handwriting. So it never fades if you use high quality ink. How to preserve calligraphy gift? So it depends on what format it is. If it's a hand scroll or hanging scroll, the best way is to scroll it over to store it like a scroll itself instead of showing it. So the basic rule is if it contact with air or oil or something or your hand often, it breaks easier than the one stored in the frame or scrolled without contacting with the air. 初学者买生宣纸 ，OK， 初学者 I will suggest to buy 熟宣，生宣 is raw 宣纸 which will spread the ink out and usually it's for creation purpose and you can play with ink on the 生宣 but 熟宣 this is 熟 practice paper so the ink will not spread out. It's easily for the practitioner to observe how you control the brush pen. So I would suggest 熟宣 instead of 生宣。
好的，谢谢大家，谢谢苏老师。Well, we have next session next month as well. 苏老师 will continue our journey with calligraphy. 苏老师, can you turn your camera back to you? We're still seeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
好的，谢谢。我们看到很多问题 many questions. Yeah, thank you so much, 苏老师。Yeah.
Thank you
也是
everyone for coming. Yeah.
好的，也谢谢大家。We are very much looking forward for this new Lunch and Learn season. Yeah. 谢谢，那就祝大家周末愉快。Stay warm if you are in New York or somewhere cold. Yeah. And we will have follow-up emails with the links to the suggestions and yeah, see everybody next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great
谢
presentation.
谢，
新年快乐！
Thank
新
you.
年
谢
快乐，
谢，谢
快
谢，
乐，呀
谢谢，
谢谢。
谢谢，
呀，谢谢，拜拜，再见，see you next time。
Thank you.
好，再见。
再见。